Good morning, and this is another episode of Thursday Thoughts. And I kind of wanted to talk about spiritual bypassing and grief. So, if you haven't heard the term of spiritual bypassing, it is kind of new, but I love it because it totally explains what I've always hated when it comes to grief, and that's everything happens for a reason. God has a perfect plan. The universe is still here for you. And even though all of those things are true, when you're grieving, those things do not make sense. Those things are the last thing you want to hear and the last thing on your mind. You are not thinking while you're on your bed in tears that you're going through a divorce because God has a perfect plan for you, or your pet just died because everything happens for a reason. Nobody is thinking that. So, the reason why I bring this all up is because last week I lost my cat. And I know that a lot of people are very attached to their pets. Some people are not animal people, so maybe this doesn't resonate with you. But my cat was my baby. I was not a crazy cat lady. I do not have multiple cats. I'm a devoted cat lady. He was my cat, like my only cat. And he was an indoor-outdoor cat. So I know that they tend to live shorter lives, but still, I wanted him to be happy. And hunting made him happy. But hunting is also what took him out because he ate a poisoned rat. And that was heartbreaking last week. I was in tears. And while I was in tears and sitting there crying in my bathroom on the floor because he was passed away in my tub, I started to spiritually bypass myself, which drove me crazy. I was like, okay, Kayla, stop crying. You can't cry. You have to be this positive person. You are supposed to be making sure everyone else is okay. How are you going to do that if you're not okay? I was like, this all happened for a reason. And then I was trying to actually make sure that I didn't cry, make sure that I didn't feel the pain of it. And then I realized when I got home and we had already said our goodbyes that that was so wrong. I deserved to have my moment. I deserved to grieve. I deserved to say goodbye and feel the pain. Now, why would anyone want to feel pain? Well, when you feel the pain, you process the pain. And your body has a system that is made just for grieving and just for feeling pain. And it actually helps you get through it. So everyone's heard the 7 stages of grief, and I'm not going to go through them, but it's actually true. You kind of are in denial. You don't believe that you should feel pain, or, you kind of are passing it off. And then you actually go through the ringer of hell because you did the denial thing. So I did that to myself. And I just wanted to let you know that it doesn't matter what you're going through, because you deserve to feel that. You deserve to own that. That is your moment. That is something you need to do to nurture yourself, is feel that and go through that and nurture yourself through that. Because a lot of people, they're going to spiritually bypass you and then expect you to be like, you're right, everything is honky-dory and everything is sunshine and rainbows, when really inside there's a storm and you are crying a lot and you just don't want anyone to see it because you're supposed to be the positive one, which is what I did to myself. And in my family, I am the positive one, or I'm usually the one that tries to pick everyone up and I'm there for everyone. But I get that in my head, and then I'm like, I'm not allowed to cry, or I'm not allowed to be depressed, and I'm not allowed to feel the feels. But that's a lie. I actually need to feel that. I journal it, I write it down, so that way I don't forget that I went through that. And then it's honoring my process. If you journal, that is even better way to get through grief. It's a good way to get through loss, because you can realize what you went through and how you felt. When you look back, you're like, you're right, I did feel that way, Kayla, and I did have a hard time getting through that loss. Another thing about loss and grief, because that's where I'm going with this, is everything, like when you're grieving, it's usually because you lost something, right? You lost your marriage, you lost your grandma, you lost your pet, you lost your best friend. These things happen to us constantly, and they happen to everyone around us. They happen to our children. There are things that we need to realize when we're going through a time of loss, and that is that pain, it doesn't last forever, and it's okay to feel. That's the one thing I want you to remember, because a lot of people, like I said, they're just going to tell you it's okay and it gets better and I'll pray for you. And even though all those positive vibes and positive energy is actually healing you and helping you, you yourself need to let yourself feel the pain, let yourself grieve, honor your feelings, because those things, they're not going to last forever, but they do make an impact on our hearts, and they make an impact on how we react to things in the future. So it's okay to cry. It's okay to find a counselor if you are grieving so bad and you have no one to talk to, because there are people around you just saying those things. Find someone that you can talk to. Find a cat lady group that will help you get through your loss. Find a loss grievance group talk, or a therapist. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. That's another thing that we go wrong in this world. We think that it's wrong to ask for help, to look for help, but it's okay to look for help and to ask for help. When I was going through my divorce, a lot of people told me to find therapy or to go to a doctor, maybe get on antidepressants, because I was very, very distraught and I never felt a pain like that before. I ended up finding a meditation group, a couple of them, and I would go weekly, 2 times a week, to these separate groups, and that was a big healing. It got me through. I was putting myself out there. I was talking to people I didn't know, but people that were going through the same things, which was really weird because I just wanted to meditate and I just wanted to get my mind off of things. But it really helped to find a group that was supportive and we all had an interest together. So if you're grieving, if you're going through a loss and you think you need help and to talk to people, there are things out there. Go on Facebook. Like, there's tons of groups out there now and everyone cares. So I just wanted to let you know and come on here and talk about that because that was on my heart. I'm still grieving the loss of my cat. He was one of my best friends and he was a family cat. He was our little king. So if you are grieving, if you're going through loss and you need to talk to somebody, feel free to message me. And if I know that I can't help you, I will direct you in a place where I think can. And just know that you're not alone and it's okay to cry and write it down, because any way that you can get things out is the better. And I hope you guys all have a great day and I love you. Thank you so much for supporting me through all this, and happy Thursday.